Yeah, I know. A part of me was wondering why I'm even bothering with this. I'm pretty sure your grandparents know what Fortnite is. There's a couple of reasons why I decided to spend some time with it today, besides YouTube holiday ad revenue. The most obvious one being, holy fuck, I've been asked so many times to look at this game. I've heard ya, but I've had my reservations. For one, Fortnite, despite being on its 6th season at the time of this video, is still considered an early access title. You explained that one to me. I thought seasons was something only applicable to completed projects. So because Fortnite is technically not a completed game, I didn't want to do an end-all be-all video about it because who knows, in a few months' time this game could radically change and this video would be moot. Although being honest, I was thinking about starting a new series called Round 2 for the longest time where I would look at new games that had new DLC implemented that would warrant a second look. Pretty much a retooled then and now. You remember those? Of course you don't. And secondly, I'm pretty sure a lot of you folks have already had enough Fortnite forced down your throats, either because of other YouTubers or Twitch streamers. It's the next Minecraft. It's everywhere. You can't escape it, even if you have zero interest in it. I myself played the game a few months ago with my Twitch subscribers, but I haven't touched it since until I decided to give it a look at today. But among those that asked me if I was going to look at the game or not was, believe it or not, my two little cousins, Lucio and Dominic, who for some reason or another watch my channel. I love these two little rascals, so I didn't want to say no, and they and their friends do play the shit out of Fortnite, and they wondered if I was going to look at the game anytime soon. Simple as that. Well, here I am, but I gotta say, I hope you guys aren't expecting too much shenanigans for this video. Let's go ahead and jump into the current cultural phenomena that is Fortnite. No, I ain't doing that shit. Holy fuck, that shit is not easy to do, and I thought the Castlevania dance wiped me out. But where was I? Fortnite is the latest blockbuster from Epic Games, a development team I didn't recognize at first until some research told me that they also did the Gears of War series, of which I only played the first game, so this is quite a tonal shift, wouldn't you say? Gone are the nitty-gritty cement textures, and in its place we have this dude in football gear doing whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, this ain't no Gears of War if you couldn't already tell. Fortnite yearns to mimic a wackier aesthetic, something more colorful, something with more expression, something that wouldn't be out of place in Sunset Overdrive or perhaps more obviously Overwatch. Well, Fortnite may have been released a year after Overwatch debut, but this game, at least the story campaign, has been in the works since 2011 when Epic Games wanted to capitalize on the crafting fever frenzy that Minecraft brought in, but with a lot more guns. And when it comes down to it, I think Overwatch is the better looking game, but I think Fortnite is pretty good looking, especially considering that it's on fucking everything. PC, every current home console, it even runs on phones, little to no hiccups from what I understand. But a major factor about Fortnite's explosion into the market was because the mode that everyone plays, the Battle Royale mode, it's completely free. Yeah, it doesn't cost anything to play Fortnite. That doesn't stop them from giving you an option of spending real life money to get this virtual currency that lets you buy cosmetic upgrades and emotes, though none of it offers any competitive advantage, so it ain't pay to win, it's pay to swag. Not judging for the record, I can't tell you how much I spent on Final Fantasy XIV throughout the last 3 years. Want to see my $150 emote? It came with a free statue. Anywho, it is also very much possible to earn these things without having to spend a single dime. You earn what this game calls V-Bucks just by playing the game. You gotta play it a shitload of times, and for what my friends tell me, the grind is real, but besides the game's story mode, nothing, from what I can understand, is really locked behind a paywall. But let's talk about that paid content for a second. The story mode, Save the World, what was originally supposed to be the real meat of the game, but strangely, I didn't hear a lot of people talk about it, and I was curious as to why. I mean, it could be just because you gotta spend money to play this, but it's not like it was a full price game exactly. It was about $40, and I hear it's going free to play sometime next year, so maybe that'll get the numbers pumping. I wanted to cover both aspects of Fortnite for this video, so I went ahead and bought it and I gave it a whirl. Save the World places you and what's left of the human race in a mission to save the planet from extinction. A superstorm has gone and wiped out about 98% of the human population, and what's left are these mindless husks that are like a combination of the zombies from Left 4 Dead and the goofy zombies from Plants vs. Zombies. With assistance from your robot companion Ray, a handful of other robots, and the number of humans who eventually begin recruiting to help with survival, it's up to you to discover a way to neutralize the superstorm and perhaps bring Earth back to normal, if it's even possible. But here's the thing, as of this video, Save the World isn't complete. It's slowly getting patch updates that expand the story and slowly feed you additional details concerning the origin of the superstorm, your robot companions, and the remaining humans. Really not much different than how an MMO handles ongoing lore, but what we have here is a rather simplistic plot that involves you and your friends rescuing people and shooting down a shitload of zombies. Not very deep, but credit where credit is due, It's pretty damn funny. Ashley Birch does a wonderful job voicing Ray, your mission control. As a robot, she can't be very expressive, but she more than makes up for it with stellar vocal delivery and witty dialogue, very much like how Stephen Merchant did a spectacular job as Wheatley in Portal 2.
Those stairs are really meant for feet. Just a tip for moving forward.
Security system failure.
Ignore that.
So the story isn't much as of now, again, might change in the future, but in the meantime, Save the World consists of mission-based gameplay where you can either build a base to help protect your storm shield, rescue a number of survivors while being rewarded for your troubles, or you can probably shoot down crazed weather balloons that have been corrupted by the storm.
The streams of the living nourish the dark wind.
What you'll be doing most of the time, however, is mowing down tenacious waves of the undead in glorified tower defense. You've no doubt seen this kind of game before, and Fortnite doesn't really break new grounds. Throughout the campaign, you can collect a surplus of new weaponry ranging from close-range melee weapons, handguns, shotguns, sniper rifles, explosives, and a wide selection of booby traps like floor spikes. When you earn enough points and experience, you can earn llamas, which you break open like piñatas. Depending on the rarity of the llama, you can get higher grade tools for crafting and schematics for weapons you can eventually make. Your weapons will degrade and break over time, but honestly, given how much shit you can score from llamas, this was rarely an issue. And I do appreciate being able to fast forward through my collectibles, because sometimes when you score a bunch of rare items at once, it can take a bit. One time I broke open like 3 gold llamas at once, and it felt like forever before I was able to jump back into the game even with the fast forward. Now it's cool that the game constantly rewards you, but it's also like, I want to get a move on please. Crafting is a major component in both this and in Battle Royale. In Save the World, you can not only use what you find in trees and dumpsters to build a base around your storm shield, but you can make powerful weapons when you're at the right level, you can make more ammo for your guns, you know, the essential shit. Crafting isn't horribly complicated either, it just asks if you have the right ingredients, and with a push of a button, bada boom, you have a new thing to play with. I feel it's something that has more of a gameplay presence in Battle Royale mode, because in Save the World, I mean, besides building a base, I barely use crafting for anything else besides making ammo and weapons. With the right hero at your disposal, you can also utilize some special abilities, like a Gatling gun with infinite ammo for a short duration, or an airstrike that covers a lot of ground. Besides that, you're shooting down zombies until the cows come home, and it was fun for a bit, but I did grow bored after a couple of hours. There's not much to do in this mode otherwise, so to help alleviate things, I opened my server to the public to maybe get some help, because you can do that. You can request assistance from other players and have them join your party and take care of zombie hordes together, but all I got were a handful of kids. 2 that immediately left after realizing it was a story mode, so why the fuck did you answer my call to arms in the first place, you dumbasses? And 1 that felt the need to insult my dingy ass base before leaving.
The worst base ever.
Well, fuck you too, you little shit. These are the people my cousins hang out with, we're fucked. So plan B then, I kindly asked some of my Twitch subscribers for some assistance, and guys, you know who you are. Much love and appreciation for stepping in and helping me get some 4-player action in. It definitely made things livelier than previously, so if you're gonna play Save the World some way, make it with friends. The problem with that though is that it made the game too easy. We were curb stomping everything in our path, even after raising the difficulty to extreme, the hardest setting allowed. Yeah, the number of zombies cranked up significantly, but we were still more than what was needed to complete the challenges. But you know what though, it's a bit mindless, but I think this is perfect for the youngins. There's next to no gore, so if extreme violence is a no-no in your family, you can rest easy knowing that there's no blood in the game. Yeah, I know, you're still wielding guns, but you also have ninjas and battle axes, so take it with a grain of salt. But the colorful aesthetic feels right at home with the 3D animation that your kid is likely binging on right now, and it isn't very difficult to progress. And to mention this again, the writing's damn good.
As long as that thing's running, you should be able to explore the surrounding area.
Ooh, this gives me an idea.
Gives me an idea too.
It's not a competition, Lars.
Okay, so I gave the story mode a try, had a few laughs, but ultimately decided that it wasn't what I was looking for, friends or no friends. When people are talking Fortnite, they're automatically assuming you're talking about the free-to-play Battle Royale mode. In fact, I was shocked to learn that this is technically a side mode of Fortnite. It's Save the World that's supposed to be the main game, but since Battle Royale became so overwhelmingly popular, it's what a lot of people consider to be the actual game. I think it's the main reason why Save the World is becoming free to play next year. They put their heart and soul into that product, but nobody gives a shit about it. I feel bad for them, really. I was expecting to get a lot more mileage out of the Battle Royale mode from the get-go. A lot of people were playing it. I figured there was a good reason for that, besides the fact that it's free. But to my surprise, and apologies for sort of jumping the gun here, I didn't get much from this either. It's called Battle Royale, the name really speaks for itself. It's you versus 99 other competitors. Although you can have a squad of up to 4 people and work together to get first place. You drop off of this flying bus, pick where you're gonna land, and hope to Christ you can find weapons and crafting items in time before someone else with weapons already in hand finds your ass and blasts you out of the sky. You're completely naked when you land, I mean, besides your pickaxe. You gotta find weapons and such scattered throughout the map, and you gotta collect crafting materials to help create bases and fortify your defenses. Healing items, additional shields, booby traps, everything's gotta be found in one of the many areas you can land in, and this island is pretty big, but not for long, because after a couple of minutes, the surrounding storm will begin to close in and shrink the available playing area. You get caught in that storm and your ass is grass, so you gotta be on the move constantly. The last man standing is the winner, and games can either go in one of 2 ways I found. They can end almost immediately because you and a bunch of other people decide to land in the same area, and boom, there goes your game because someone got to the goods before you did. Or it could be a whole bunch of waiting around as you scavenge for additional items and hiding places while the opposing team is busy playing soccer on the opposite side of the field. Now, I love the concept of the Battle Royale. It's your standard deathmatch on a much grander scale, and what's not to love about that? You know, it feels great coordinating with your team and planning out a course of action, building a base to get better vantage points, or getting yourself out of those stupid situations by hijacking these ATVs and watch as your brother make a goddamn fool of himself. When it comes to the sort of zany things you can do with your character and teammates, I think this is where Fortnite excels, but maybe I've grown a little too impatient for this sort of thing, but if things aren't going a mile a minute, they're going a mile an hour, where it's a whole lot of this. This kind of thing is standard for Fortnite because the name of the game is being the last to survive, with many people incorporating a slow and methodical approach to get to the top. And if you'd rather be in the heat of the moment like you would be in, say, Call of Duty or Overwatch, this might prove to be a little boring, and that's what ended up happening with me. I got bored. In one round, I decided to lay low and hang in this bush for most of the game, and I ended up scoring pretty high at the end because of it. This is likely how you're meant to play to score high, but I'm not much of a fan of camping unless I'm Bastion, if you know what I mean, and it just isn't my cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, I was laughing my ass off with some of the things I did with my family and friends, and for that I thank Fortnite for those moments. But as far as games go where I grab a gun and hunt down opponents, then I don't think Fortnite offers much. If you want, you can go ahead and build things with the game's crafting element, but this is probably just personal preference speaking. I didn't use crafting much besides building a last-minute shield from oncoming players, and even then it was made of wood, so it doesn't last long itself. I don't know, there's something about the crafting element in Fortnite that feels a bit shoehorned in. I mean, I've run into a lot of players who can make that shit work, and more power to them, but I sort of found it cumbersome to have to switch between battle mode and crafting mode in real time to get the most out of the experience. Gotta bash the shit out of trees, rocks, walls, and cars to get materials and use them to make walls, stairs, and traps. Basic stuff, simple to understand, but not something I found much enjoyment from doing. For a free-to-play title, I can see what makes Fortnite's Battle Royale mode so alluring, but it wore out its welcome for me fast. There's nothing much else to do besides playing the same game in the same arena, grinding your ass off and using those V-Bucks to buy more costumes and learn those wacky-ass dance moves, and some of them, what the fuck are these dances? There's a lot of charm in Fortnite's aesthetic. I think it's one of the best things about the game for both Save the World and Battle Royale, but unless you're playing with a bunch of like-minded friends, I don't think Fortnite offers much substance beyond doing some funny shit that in a few years' time, nobody will ever talk about again. I don't think it'd be right to call Fortnite shallow, but you get what you pay for. And I doubt there'll ever be a time where I'll give Fortnite another look for a round 2 video or otherwise. Unless they add a lot more to the core game, it just isn't what I'm looking for. But I wouldn't be against playing it with my Twitch subs, which again, major thanks to those that lent me a hand for this video. I sincerely did enjoy those little moments.
John. I just love it. John just sees the down guy. You know what? Fuck your day, kid.
I also wanted to take the time to thank those who recently visited my Pixel Empire store throughout the last month after I unveiled those new shirt designs. And because of the upcoming holidays, Pixel Empire's got a few deals for you. Well, firstly, if you're new here and never heard of them, Pixel Empire offers a multitude of attire celebrating both pop culture and video games. Art posters for that extra flair, I've been meaning to get this one for quite a while. They've got a large selection of phone cases for both iPhone and Android users, and a surplus of clothing apparel from your favorite YouTubers, including yours truly, Cat Icarus, Saberspark, and more recently, Ant Dude. You should consider helping him out. He's a cool dude. He's Ant Dude, and that sounded way better on paper. You can make that check out to cash, Ant. You're welcome. This coming Black Friday until the end of Cyber Monday, everything in the store will be 20% off, so go ahead and splurge on some of that while the going is good, and on top of that, Pixel Empire is holding a Nintendo Switch raffle. The grand prize winner will get a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Edition of the Switch, with 10 runner-ups winning some best-selling products and gift cards. You can score some tickets if you sign up for the newsletter or follow them on social media, but if you buy something from my store, that's a whopping 25 entries to help get that winning ticket. You can find a link to the giveaway in the description below, as well as a link to my general store. Much thanks again for your support, and if you're rocking any sort of Somecallmejohnny merchandise, please share it with me on my Twitter, at Somecallmejohn. Yeah, I know John is spelled wrong, but at Somecallmejohn was already taken by this one dude who hasn't posted in years, but what can you do? With that said, the holidays, they're upon us, so I'm going to spend the next couple of months looking at games that might be right up your alley for the festivities and beyond all that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching, have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.